The Justice League is currently lost out in the multiverse. Can somebody save them from their home planet? This is the Comicstorian channel where I take some of your favorite trade paperbacks and single issues and I break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then I read them dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. Today we're going to be continuing our coverage of Justice League, a series that we've been running on our compilation episodes on the weekends. You see, we've been trying to help you keep up with current comic books. There's a lot of them out there, and we know you guys enjoy them, so we're trying to tell you all the stories. So Justice League issue 62 and 63 continues the main Justice League storyline, which I'll link 60 and 61 to you down below, but we are also going to get issues 62 and 63 of Justice League Dark, and I'll be bringing you both of those today right here in this video. So when we last left off, an individual came through a multidimensional portal and battled against Black Adam, Superman, and Naomi. When he fled, they realized that they needed to figure out where he was from, and the Justice League was sent over to his universe using Naomi's powers to try and figure out what is going on. But now that they're over there, all of their powers are going haywire, and they just got into another fight. But let's go back to the main Earth. Let's start issue 62 back at home. Because as the sun shines over the Hall of Justice, suddenly something can be seen making its way towards Earth. With a loud clang, Hippolyta slams her spear into the ground, heading inside the Hall of Justice, not paying any mind to the guests that are now all staring at her. As she enters, she stops in front of the statue of Wonder Woman, and a recording begins to play how she came to be. But while standing there, a voice asks, "Queen Hippolyta? Is that you?" She turns back to see the Flash skidding in. "Hi, what brings you to the hall?" She asks if the Justice League is available. She acted rather poorly earlier, and she wanted to apologize to them. They all deserve a much kinder response. Flash tells her that it's okay. If it makes her feel any better, they haven't even given it a second's thought. Currently, everyone is on a mission while he's been tracking. She interrupts him. Yes, the invader. But if I'm being honest, I must be frank with you. After all of the tests that have been put before me, I do not understand this world, and I do not understand how any of man's world works. It moves around me in a maddening blur. It all seems like lunacy to me, yet I have sworn myself to protect it. I have carried this for a long time, and I can't imagine how any of this is making me an effective leader. Years ago, I sent Diana to this land to find a deeper understanding of this world, and she found it. Flash says, actually, Green Arrow and I were just talking about the perspective of the team, the collective prism through which we all see the world, and how we as a group sometimes lose. But he stops and stares. Hippolyta asks, "Have you ended your thought?" Flash tells her that he did it wrong. "We have to hurry! I miscalculated! Just before you arrived, I sent them to another Earth on the dimensional plane. I used the multiversal map math to calculate the in-world slide trajectory. God, carry the two! I sent them away on bad math." Hippolyta stops, asking, "Did you kill the Justice League?" Without answering, the Flash runs away, grabbing a phone. "Hey, is Mr. Terrific there? Yeah, the renowned brilliant scientist one? Is this Mrs. Terrific? Because it's very urgent." Meanwhile, over in the other world, Aquaman begins to wake up in a bed, and a family eating dinner looks over at the man, telling him, "Look, I told you that he'd wake up. Here, eat some food." The man's wife says that she doesn't care. "Get him out of here, Grandor!" Grandor leans forward with the plate of food, telling him that it's okay. He won't be hurt. He was nearly dead when they found him in Zambato's no zone. Gondor says that the stranger really doesn't know. Aquaman then says, "Would you have happened to seen my friends? There's a guy who has pointy bat ears like this." Gondor tells him that he was very much alone when they found him. They just found him and brought him in. Aquaman then tries to connect to the sea, but he discovers that he can't. So he stops and he asks, "What happened here? I can't hear any oceans." Gondor asks, "Oceans?" Gondor's wife says that there aren't any oceans. This is Ohio. Just then, there's an explosion knocking everyone to the ground. Meanwhile, over with the others, Brutus throws Superman and Black Adam, stating, "I am done breaking your strongest heroes now. You can have them back." Hawkgirl quickly catches Black Adam while Naomi grabs Superman, while Green Arrow begins to fire arrows to try and slow Brutus down. The arrows begin to stick into him, and he asks, "Really? An arrow? Okay, now I am annoyed." After setting Black Adam down, Hawkgirl rushes back in, but Black Canary tells her to hang on. She's got this. And then she screams with her supercharged super scream, rocketing Brutus into the sky. A few moments later, Brutus slams back into the earth, stating, "Okay, it's like that. I get it. I get through the rest of you and I've got myself a new world, a new home. And then Zombato can kiss both sides of my..." But before he could finish, Hawkgirl cracks him with her nth metal mace, giving everyone a moment to recover, when there's a sudden shout. Everyone looks over and Aquaman drives up in a giant tank, firing into Brutus's chest, screaming his name. Brutus shouts, "Me and the others are taking your world and that's final." Brutus then grabs a hold of Aquaman's tank, lifting it up over his head, throwing it back at Hawkgirl. He then turns, grabbing Naomi, launching her into the air, telling her that he could see that she's going to be trouble. But she catches herself mid-air, looking down at the destroyed world, pausing, taking it all in. Black Adam flies up, asking, "What is happening to you? We have to leave immediately." And she says that this is where she was born. Black Adam tells her that it seems your parents did you a great kindness, and I assume a great sacrifice. We need to get the others before. But at that moment, there's a massive explosion, and at the center of it, Hippolyta stands over Brutus's defeated body, shouting, "I am Hippolyta! Does anyone else here challenge us? Step forward so that I might have your head!" Flash runs in, telling her that they need to leave now. Gondor sighs. "That was my wife's tank." Aquaman tells him that he is truly sorry, with Flash looking around asking, "Where is Batman? We have to leave because there is no way that we can survive here. It's like we've all been poisoned." Naomi yells back at him that they just can't leave yet, and another voice chimes in. "That's right, you can't." A hulking figure looms over the rubble. "I am Zombato. I decide who comes and goes. And hey, Naomi, you brought friends." We now move to Justice League issue number 63. As a bright light begins to shine on Naomi, she wakes up in the medical bay of the Hall of Justice, staring at a screen of Zombato. As she sits there, Black Canary asks if she wants to talk about it, and Naomi asks, "Am I, under arrest?" Black Canary asks her, "For what?" Naomi goes on, "Disobeying orders? I was kinda losing my shape. Am I gonna die?" Black Canary tries to reassure her, telling her that she doesn't know. She does karate and scream at people. Superman's robot assistant, Kelex, tells them all that all vitals are normal for Naomi McDuffie. All interdimensional vibrational anomalies have dissipated completely. Black Canary tells her, "Okay, there you go. So what happened back there?" Naomi sighs and states that she thinks the technical term is she lost it. She discovered that she was on her broken homeworld, and she was face to face with Zombato, the man who broke it all, the thing that killed her parents. This monster who she sees every time that she blinks, he was there, right there. And the Justice League was broken, defeated. She was broken. Her powers were flaring. Her body wasn't doing what she wanted it to do. The Flash was yelling for everyone to leave, telling them all that they were poisoned, and Batman was missing, Superman was down, everyone's powers were absolutely haywire. But none of it mattered. Zombato was right there. I didn't see it, but the nth metal in Hawkgirl's battle stick was freaking out at the sight of Zombato. And so was I. He killed my parents, and I just wished that I'd met you a few days ago. I'm not an angry person. I'm not usually like that. I didn't mean to hit Superman, but it looked like it was the end. Everyone was fighting, and then Batman appeared, telling everyone to go through the portal that he just jumped in. I took one more look at Zombato, and I woke up here. After a few moments, Naomi asks, "Have you ever lost your cool?" Black Canary chuckles. "Yeah, all the time." Just then, Superman and the others come in asking how is she feeling. And she says, "How soon can we go back to my birth world? Can we do it without my actual body falling apart?" Flash tells her that they'll eventually find a way, but that entire mission revealed just how much they don't know. Naomi tells him that she has to go back. She has to help her people. Superman chimes in. "Right now, we have no safe way of going to your homeworld. Even if we did, you're nowhere ready for a mission that size. You're a bomb." Naomi sighs and Superman tells her, "We'll find a way. I promise." Aquaman chimes in that they can help her train, and Hawkgirl says that it should help with her levels of stress. Naomi says that she needs to get back to her homeworld. Superman laughs. The pull. We all know the pull. There are 52 universes in the known multiverse, maybe even more. We all have doppelgangers. Some of us have even come face to face with them, the worst in ourselves. But we all go through the pull of wanting to help everyone everywhere. All these people, all of these worlds, just by knowing they exist, we feel the pull. Today, as messy as it was, we showed the people of your world hope, and hope motivates. Green Arrow yells, "Yeah, it's true. I motivate the crap out of people." Naomi then asks if they can find a way back to her world. They'll let her know, right? And Aquaman says that Zumbado, he's most likely coming here. Batman pulls out a small device smiling. Not without this he isn't. Made a little stop by the one Brutus calls McMurph. Later, up above the Hall of Justice, Black Adam floats, stating that all of this used to be cows. Superman flies up telling him, I bet. I'm not sure what you want from me, Superman. Well, I'd like to offer you a place in the Justice League, Black Adam. Black Adam stares for a moment and Superman goes on. You're one of the greatest powers of this or any generation, and with that comes an obligation to the world, not just the people of Kahndaq, not just when you feel like it, but to all people, all the time. Black Adam says, you want me to be like you. I want you to be better than me, Black Adam. I'm offering a partnership so everyone can get their better selves. Soon, Queen Hippolyta flies up and Black Adam asks, do you remember what used to be here? She chimes in, yes, cows, but I'm taking my leave now. Black Adam then says that he knows their personal history is frustrating. They're both old enough to know that words mean almost nothing, but he hopes that he has been given an opportunity to show them both he can do better. A short while later, back inside, Naomi gets out of bed telling everyone that she would like to apologize for losing it. She hasn't been on a lot of battlefields. In fact, this is the first time that she actually is using the word battlefield. So she's just going to go, and Hawkgirl tells her that is not something that she needs to apologize for. And Black Adam tells her, yeah, extenuating circumstances. So Aquaman tells her that she'll get another shot at Zumbado. He can almost guarantee it. And Batman tells her, and we'll be right behind you when you do. And Green Arrow concludes the thoughts with, you keep thinking that we're all mad at you, when all we're trying to say is, welcome to the Justice League. There you have it, the conclusion of how Naomi and Black Adam have joined up with the Justice League. Most likely, this has been done so we can get Black Adam on the Justice League and to be a good guy, because, there's a movie coming out starring The Rock. But I needed to run both of these issues down to allow you guys to see the conclusion to the first Brian Michael Bendis Justice League arc. But we're not done yet. You see, every Justice League issue comes with a Justice League Dark backup. And when we last left off, Constantine and Jason Blood were running through the Library of Babel. Merlin had arrived and was trying to awaken ancient magics using a book that would allow things to be created. So everyone went into the book to stop him. This is Justice League Dark, issue 62 and 63. Constantine and Jason Blood begin running through the Library of Babel, carving their way through when Jason uses his sword to cut down a giant stone gargoyle with ease. As the last creature falls, Constantine looks over. That's a blessed blade, isn't it? Jason tells him, the sword of an angel. Constantine reaches in his coat to grab his cigarettes, telling him, not a trifle by any means. Last I saw you, the spell that tethered you and the demon Etrigan was undone. You were an old man withering away. Jason tells him, yet, here I stand. Constantine asks, and how did you manage to come back? Jason tells him, I was in heaven, a good soul, a dutiful man. They had only to ask. Constantine laughs, that's a load of bullocks, mate. In my experience, those above are just as awful as those below. No, you came down here because they made a bargain with you. And you would know a lot about those, wouldn't you, Constantine? But Constantine lights his cigarette. I would, but that's no secret. Everyone knows that I'm a nasty piece of work. You, on the other hand, seem to be full of secrets. Secrets have a way of hurting people that you care about. I've grown quite fond of the company that I'm with, and if anything happens to blow back on Bobo or Khaled or Z, as Constantine dusts off Jason's jacket, Jason asks, is that a threat, John? I'll be honest, I'll take the demon over you any day. But since we do have some quality time here, figured we should start off with a bit of friendly advice, that's all. Jason laughs. Since we're having a friendly chat about keeping secrets, don't you find it a little strange? The fact that Zatanna seems to fear using her own magic these days? Meanwhile, over with the others, Bobo cuts down another demon, stating, we could use some help over here. Zatanna looks back at him, telling him, it looked like you boys had it covered. Speed reading these to see if there's a way to find the man of the book is exhausting, to say the least. Besides, Ragman there looked like he was enjoying himself. Rory pulls down the Ragman mask. It's the suit that derives power from the hellbound souls. And well, given the choice, serving the rags is better than the agony in hell, I'd imagine. Zatanna stops her magical speed reading, telling him that this is useless. Not only is there absolutely nothing about the man of the book, most of these books are gibberish. Bobo picks up a book stating that they're in languages they don't understand or ones that haven't evolved in their lifetimes, but they need to keep looking for clues. He's got a theory to test. Rory looks at one of the books on the large shelf titled Justice League Dark 2021 author's notes, and he pulls it out. He skims through the pages and then his eyes suddenly go wide with concern. He reads it. At some point, one of the characters will learn Zatanna's secret, that the Upside Down Man's power and influence still lingers within her, growing each time that she uses her powers and pushes herself to her limit. Bobo yells that he found something as Rory quickly slams the book shut. Everyone looks over and Zatanna asks what did he find. Bobo says that he wrote down a word in this book and instantly another copy of the original appeared. Technically, they're two different books now. The man of the book, he catalogs everything in the library. He's read them all. So if there's a lot of new books suddenly appearing, Zatanna says, he'd have to catalog them all. Worth a shot. Zatanna begins to use her magic to add one word to each book on the shelf when suddenly there's a loud, "Stop, stop, stop, stop! Who writes in books? It's unconscionable! Never have I seen such terrible things! Explain yourself!" The man of the book walks out and Constantine says, "Easy there, Mr. Book. We came in here looking for the old git. And we've dealt with his conjurings before they did more damage to your library. So if you didn't have your head stuck in a book, you'd realize that you owe us one." Mr. Book says, "I owe you?" Constantine tells him, "Seeing as we might have messed up a book or two, I'll make you a deal. Tell us what the wizard Merlin took and how to find him, and we'll set things back to the way they were." Mr. Book thinks for a moment and says, "Very well. Merlin Wilde, the one you call Merlin, he took the Eternity Book. He looked at it with great interest upon these works of the cartographer Anaximander. There are maps of what was once your world but is now lost to time." Bobo looks at the document stating that these are astonishing, referencing works that predate Amigo Mundi. Constantine tells him to focus. What was Merlin looking for? And Bobo tells him, "Atlantis, but of an era so ancient that I doubt any of it even exists today." Meanwhile, at the steps of the ruins of the ancient Atlantis, Merlin says that this is the first bastion of magic on the earth, asleep now in lost splendor, while its remnants linger on. Let me see if we can wake it up once again. Mr. Book tells Constantine, "Okay, I've given you the answers, as is the long tradition of this place. Now keep your word." Constantine laughs. "Ha ha ha. What, collapse a newly formed reality? Piece of cake, mate." Zatanna asks how exactly is he planning on undoing Merlin's spell, and Constantine tells her that there's no need. His spell turned fiction into reality. All they have to do is tell their own story. Let's see, it goes something like this, pages 2 and 3. As he writes in a book, the pages of what Merlin set in motion for the Library of Babel begin to turn back, and soon everyone finds themselves back in the bookstore with the answers that they seeked. Rory lets out a groan. That's what it's like to keep up with the world's greatest magician. Jason tells him, "I'm pretty sure Merlin didn't even break a sweat to do that." Bobo tells him, "Sure, but the problem is that now we don't even know where to begin, nor why we're trying to stop him. What is he even doing?" Zatanna says that they just have to ask him when they find him. They know that he's looking for Atlantis, so they should warn them. She'll work it out with Aquaman, and Jason tells her it's futile. This is the smartest, most Machiavellian adversary any of us have ever faced, and now he has his bloody book. Zatanna asks, "Do you have a better idea?" Jason tells her, "Perhaps. This is a man who has always been 10,000 steps ahead of everyone else, and he's used to it. So why not use that against him? We need an edge, something that lets us get ahead of this learning curve, something that will tell us what Merlin's going to do before he does it." Meanwhile, over at the Tower of Fate, Khaled asks if he's sure that this is going to work, and Man-Bat tells him, "Well, I'm trying to jumpstart one of the world's most magical artifacts by simulating the energy signatures off of its prior state, and by using the signatures of similar artifacts known to have been linked to the entity known as Nabu." But as Man-Bat continues with his theories, Khaled asks, "Will it work?" And after a brief moment of silence, Man-Bat says that he is a biologist who accidentally turned himself into a bat. "I have no idea if it's going to work." Khaled sighs, putting on his helmet, and Man-Bat flips the switch. As Man-Bat's machine begins and electrifies the helmet and attempts to rebuild it to what it once was, Khaled begins to see visions, images. A vision of himself standing in the sands of Ur, a great ziggurat looming in the horizon. A vision of two sorcerers watching the fall of the Tower of Fate. A vision of a young woman out of time at the doorstep of a great cathedral now abandoned and condemned. Even as Man-Bat pulls Khaled from the vortex, Khaled knows deep down that he has in fact seen the future. The image of a young woman lingering in his mind, he wonders, who is she? The woman is Alnara, the knight tasked with watching over Merlin's sword, and right now, she is standing in front of a cathedral in Gotham. And as she stands there, a voice calls out to her asking for help, and without hesitation, she rushes in. Dozens of hooded men stare, and as their leader walks away, he says that it is as they suspected. The old man was speaking with someone on the outside, and he shall deal with him. Everyone else deal with her, and then burn the place down. Elnara grabs a chandelier, breaking it at its base, telling them that she is Elnara Rashtun, the 13th oath sworn. Cast aside your weapons and give up your prisoner in peace, or else she shall deliver unto them the most painful divine justice. And as she makes her stand up in the shadows, Batman watches, and he smiles. And there you have it, Justice League Dark, issues 62 and 63. Now, both these stories are great, but I wanted to combine these last two issues because we kind of missed 62 in our compilation issues. And since this concludes the series, and this was a long episode as it is, I was like, you know what? Let's just wrap this show up. Let's get Justice League done so we can put it back in the normal rotation. If you want to keep up with your current comic books, check out this channel on a nearly daily basis. We cover current comic books, we cover classic comic book storylines, we combine them into hour-long epics, and we have a weekly podcast. We talk comics, guys, and I'd love to have you be a part of that. But if you want to have a say in the direction we take the channel and what we're doing here, then head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/Comicstorian. Over there, we have a monthly vote as to what Dan is going to record and what I'm going to record. And that's pretty much it, guys. We'd love to have you over there. Either way, thank you so much for watching this video to the end. You don't know how much that actually helps and means to me. And I'll see you later this week right here at Comicstorian.